for very much, Mr. Michailidis. Now I would like to call to join us on stage Professor Ioannis THEOTOKAS, Secretary General, Hellenic Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Insular Policy.
Administration of TEN-T Policy, dear Chairman of the Board of Directors of CPA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to address the Poseidon Med Stakeholder Conference as the Secretary General of the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Insular Policy of Greece. And I would like to thank organizers for inviting me to be at this event. This LNG bunkering initiative, which is the first EU cross-border project for LNG as the main fuel of the shipping industry, brings us in front of a challenge which I hope will be proved to be an excellent opportunity for the sustainable development of shipping industry in the area of Eastern Mediterranean, according to the expectation of the society, which is the development of the industry in an efficient way, which will be environmentally responsible. It can also be proved a great opportunity for the shipbuilding industry in Europe, especially in Eastern Mediterranean, a project that will have multiplier effects in our country also when its implementation starts. In recent years, the international community has taken significant steps towards environmentally friendly solutions to the challenges the globalized world of today and tomorrow faces. Among these challenges, climate change is regarded as a top urgent issue and in need of decisive action, but also as a very difficult to confront. The Kyoto Protocol is a cornerstone in the battle against global warming and man-made carbon dioxide emissions. In the sector of marine transport in particular, International Maritime Organization has made progress with the establishment of emission control areas to minimize airborne emissions from ships by posting strict emissions limits. As conventional oil fuels fail to meet these limits, a consequent search for alternative fuel is already ongoing. The heavy environmental impact of oil, along with the constant rise of its price, not the last few years though, and the political instability in many parts of the world where oil is produced, have introduced the use of natural gas as an appealing option. According to recent studies, using LNG as fuel for ships can cut CO2 or greenhouse gas emissions by 20 to 25%, SOx and particulate matters by 100%, and NOx by 85 to 90% compared to heavy fuel oil. The use of gas as fuel, particularly liquefied natural gas, has increased in recent years due to, as already mentioned, lower sulfur and particulate emissions than fuel oil or marine diesel oil. But gas and other low flash point fuels pose their own set of safety challenges which need to be properly managed. In responding to this need, IMO Safety Committee, in its 95th session in June 2015, adopted the International Code of Safety for Ships using gases or other low flash point fuels, the IGF code. It also adopted the amendments to make the code mandatory under the International Conventions for the Safety of Life at Sea. The IGF code aims to minimize the risk to the ship, its crew and the environment, having regard to the nature of fuels involved. The expected date of entry into force of this new mandatory instrument is the 1st of January 2017. As regards the specific issue of LNG bunkering, on which the discussion during the conference are to be focused, it is important to note that this issue is considered by Greek Maritime Administration as urgent. One of the main aims of our policy is to move towards implementing the proper environmental legal framework in a way that will be sustainable and will not distort competition in the European shipping industry. It is clear to us that there are certain actions that have to be implemented in order the LNG project to become, to start to be implemented and the LNG to become the main maritime fuel. These actions include the identification and filling of gaps in the regulatory framework, investments in port facilities, development of supply networks, bunkering facilities and infrastructure, as well as building the proper ships to support this network. It also presupposes the existence of the proper finance. As I have already mentioned, initiatives and projects that create expectations for the environmental performance of the shipping industry are welcome. Even more when these expectations are combined with the prospects of creating the conditions for the exploitation of available transport networks and financial tools at European level, and of affecting positively the shipbuilding, the ship repairing, and the ship suppliers industry of the country. For Greece, a maritime nation highly dependent for its cohesion on the proper supply of ship transport services for both passengers and cargoes, the prospect of developing environmental friendly and efficient fleet that will support this aim, while at the same time enhance the employment and produce multiplier effects for the whole industry and the economy, is more than welcome. In this context, I wish success to the Poseidon project and look forward for the expected results. Thank you for your attention.